All right everyone, get ready, Canada just stepped into some serious political drama. And no, this isn't a late-night sketch. This is real life. Imagine this, the Governor General, yes, the Queen's official representative, has just shown support for Alberta and Saskatchewan wanting more control, even hinting at a possible break from Ottawa. This is big. Normally, the Governor General sticks to handing out awards and attending ceremonies. But this time, she stepped into one of the most heated political debates the country has seen in years. Meanwhile, over in the Liberal corner, Mark Carney is having quite the reaction. You might know him as the former head of the Bank of Canada, a polished economist, calm under pressure. But now, he's absolutely livid. His TV outburst was so intense it could have thought out Yellowknife. Yes, that Mark Carney, the man of charts, rules, and financial forecasts, couldn't handle the idea that provinces might take bold steps without Ottawa's approval. So, how did things spiral like this? It began when Senator Mark Gold, one of Ottawa's most trusted, if not exactly thrilling, voices, stood up in Parliament and made it very clear, in his view, no province can leave Canada without Parliament's permission. Basically, he told Alberta and Saskatchewan they're stuck unless Ottawa gives the okay. His words sounded like a parent telling the kids they can't leave the playground until they're told to. Never mind that Alberta and Saskatchewan are the ones paying to keep the playground running. Then came a major twist. Senator Paula Simons asked a question that shook up the entire discussion. Does the Clarity Act, the rulebook for how a province could separate, also apply to Alberta? It seemed like a fair question. But Senator Gold? He didn't answer directly. Instead, he gave a vague, complicated reply that avoided the main point entirely. It was like trying to clean your glasses with a dirty rag, still blurry, still frustrating. While Ottawa scrambled, Alberta wasn't waiting. Premier Danielle Smith jumped into action. Her government introduced the Citizen Initiative Act, a new law that makes it much easier for regular people to call for a referendum on major issues. Before, you needed an almost impossible number of signatures. Now, it only takes 90,000.2. Put that in perspective, that's fewer people than the number still waiting for Trudeau to build a single pipeline. And this time, Alberta's not just making noise, they're serious. The Alberta Prosperity Project isn't using vague terms like autonomy anymore. They've gone straight to the point. Their proposed referendum question: do you agree that Alberta should become a sovereign country and no longer be a province of Canada? That's not a suggestion. That's a direct, clear breakup message. No soft language, no mixed signals, and right then, Mark Carney reappears. Holding on to the Clarity Act like it's sacred text, the man once known for calm, rational leadership looked completely out of sorts. Carney, the former top banker, went from cool expert to someone in full panic mode. On national TV, he looked like a teacher who just realized no one in class is listening anymore. His speech was scattered and tense. He started speaking in complicated legal phrases about national unity, waving his hands like someone trying to fix a broken GPS, recalculating. While he spiraled, someone else stepped up. Pierre Poilievre. While Ottawa elites were throwing wine and cheese meetings to talk about Alberta's identity, Pierre was out meeting regular Canadians. He held town halls. He talked to people struggling with food prices. He met farmers. He drank coffee poured by locals, not assistants. He didn't come armed with legal jargon or academic lectures. He didn't sit down with global economists. He simply listened, and it made a difference. Out west, people noticed, because Alberta and Saskatchewan? They've had enough. After years of contributing so much, especially through oil and natural resources, they're done being treated like second-class members of this country. They don't want sympathy. They want respect. Now let's step back and look at the bigger picture. Back in 2000, the Clarity Act was created to respond to Quebec's independence push. The law says a province needs a clear question and a clear majority to separate. Sounds fair, right? Here's the problem: Ottawa gets to decide what's clear. It's like asking your landlord if you can move out, and they say, sure, but only if you ask in the right way and we like your reason. That's not how democracy should work. It's not cooperation, it's control. And just when things looked like they couldn't get more uncertain, someone unexpected stepped into the spotlight. Governor General Mary Simon, while Mark Carney was falling apart in a pile of legal papers and stress, Mary stood up with calm confidence. She didn't yell. She didn't panic. She simply spoke the truth, clearly and without hesitation. Maybe the West has a point. Governor General Mary Simon acknowledged that Alberta and Saskatchewan have the right to pursue more control over their own affairs, and the moment she did, Mark Carney completely lost it. The man known for quoting financial rules like gospel started to unravel. He looked like someone watching his carefully built political image collapse on live TV. Gone was the calm expert. In his place was a man rambling through legal terms, unsure of what to say next. He looked more like someone forced to binge-watch Pierre Poilievre town halls than someone ready to lead a national conversation. Back in Ottawa, the Liberal insiders were in panic mode. Carney was supposed to be their big hope, the sharp thinker, the responsible adult, the guy with all the right answers. But now, the shine is gone. He's coming across less like a leader and more like a technical report in human form, and the public is noticing. People aren't looking for polished speeches or fancy economic talk anymore. They want someone real. Someone who understands the West. Someone who's lived it, not just read about it. And that's why Pierre Poilievre is gaining support, because this isn't just about Alberta and Saskatchewan anymore. It's about a larger pushback against a system that feels disconnected. People are tired of being overtaxed, overregulated, and overlooked by leaders who've never experienced the challenges of life outside major cities. They're done being managed by people who've never had to warm up a truck in minus 40 degrees Celsius or deal with oilfield layoffs. They want fairness. A system that actually works for everyone, and Poilievre gets it. While Carney talks in boardroom language, Pierre speaks to people in real communities. And Danielle Smith? She's stopped waiting for polite conversations. That she's not pushing Alberta into chaos. She's demanding fairness, accountability, and respect, and with the Governor General now recognizing Alberta's right to chart its own political future. The influence of Canada's central elites has taken a serious hit. So what comes next? Will we see more referendums? A new confederation agreement? Or could this be the moment where Ottawa finally starts paying attention to the rest of the country? Mark Carney may still be giving careful speeches filled with policy terms, but Western Canada is speaking loud and clear. And if you feel that quiet rumble is spreading across the country, it's not a train, it's not a protest convoy. It's a national awakening. It's Pierre Poilievre walking up to the microphone with a clear plan and a strong message. And as for Mark Carney, his Clarity Act, his big conferences, and his carefully crafted career, they're starting to fade into the background. The public is no longer buying the polished presentations. The West is done making excuses. And Canada? Canada's ready for someone who actually understands it. No translation required. This is Pierre Poilievre's moment. And that meltdown we all just watched, that was Mark Carney finally realizing he's no longer in charge.